Hi, my name is Catherine Went with Syscon, and thanks for taking a moment of your time. Today I wanted to talk with you about a topic that I've heard at two very recent, very different industry events, and I was surprised that it came up so close together, and the topic was loneliness. Some interesting information, some interesting things to think about, and then separately, being in the IT business, what is technology's contribution to this loneliness that they were describing? So it kind of goes back to just how we're wired as human beings. There have been all kinds of studies over many, many years of babies who thrive when they're held and talked to and touched, and those who don't thrive physically when they don't have that kind of connection. We tend to live in communities and, looking back in time, tribes. And in some places, still the tribes are very, very important. We have specific neighborhoods that we live in, so very community driven. We usually belong to some kind of social groups. Many of us have a worship community that we're part of. Others have different social groups like the VFW or Shriners or Masons. There are peer groups that you might belong to that might be industry specific. Sports teams, how many people are cheering on their special sports team or something related to the college they attended. Historically, again, immigrants would come over to the US and they would tend to move to communities that had other people from their country of origin so that they could make that transition with language and the culture that was around them as they acclimated to the new world. So technology, thinking about all of those things and technology and how amazing it has been in connecting people, I think of Larry's aunt, who's 97, and when she first came over as a young girl from Germany, she didn't have a good way to communicate with those people who were back at home. Sending letters took weeks to get back over to them. You didn't pick up the phone and have those conversations. Now, she picks up a cell phone and talks to Germany anytime she wants, doesn't think twice about it. And we have team members who are rather far away. And again, we're on video, audio, over the web. We've been doing that for years. Great way to stay connected and really get to know these people who you otherwise would never have a chance of meeting face to face. Some other things would be, I know when I travel, I'll often see people kind of go off to the side and they're on a call, maybe with children or a family member, just sharing what was going on in their day or wishing each other good night if it's a late night flight, that kind of a thing. So just FaceTime video right there with family, even though they're traveling. Huge game changer for families to stay connected, even when family members need to be out and traveling. So with all this great technology, why are we going to conferences that are talking about the concern of loneliness? Very interesting. And in fact, one of them was really focused on that construction, the industry we serve, is actually number 2 in the epidemic of suicides. So why is this happening? And what, if anything, can technology do to help turn the tide on that? So Brene Brown had an interesting quote. She said, technology, for instance, has become a kind of imposter for connection, making us believe we're connected when we're really not, at least not in the ways we need to be. You'll often see people scrolling quickly through pictures or making short comments on a text or message that they've received. Not a lot of in-depth connection, not a lot of communication there. They tend to be short. They tend to be superficial in nature. And that doesn't feed who we are. I'm reminded of the whole thing about quality time versus quantity of time. And sometimes we need to take some time to make those connections. So what can we do then? How could we use technology to stay connected and really get to know the people in our world? So we had a couple of thoughts. One is video. For meetings, phone calls and such, at our company, we're always on video. We're reading body language, we're staying connected with people, we're asking how they are and what's going on. And that's something we can do in our businesses as well as with our family members. Another would be to read a book of interest to you, and maybe invite others to read it too, and get together once a week or every so often on video and talk about what you're reading and your thoughts about the book. Another would be to reach out randomly to someone and ask them how they are. Really ask them how they are and then stop talking. Let them talk. And don't share anything. Just be there to hear them. Let them know that you see them, you hear them, and you want to know what's going on in their world. Focus on the Family has volunteers that When people are feeling distraught or lonely, they can call in. These are trained people who can help them stay connected and can be the voice on the other end and get them any materials they might need. So there's lots of different resources out there. Technology is a great way to connect, and we need to really step up our efforts to let people know we hear them, we see them, we want to know what's going on in their world, and we can all do that. Thanks for your time, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.